I'm not sure why this other student said, don't be like the Oxford school shooter, but my son responded, I'm not going to be like, shut up, or I'm going to shoot the school up. It was a hypothetical statement, but it was definitely not a threat.
Definitely not a threat. Hey, welcome to our show. You are definitely in the right place. This is an exclusive interview with Alison Reedy. She's been on several different podcasts. She definitely is in the fight of her life and her son and her family. The reason why we are exclusively doing this inside of our network is because we absolutely cannot allow this to be censored. There is a reason why you're here. It's worth whatever we're charging, because the half of these proceeds are going to go to Alison and her fight, and the other half goes to help us keep our studio lights on, keep producing quality documentaries, quality content. And if you're wondering what our network is, we have all of the resources. There's links right here. Take a look at them. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. We are definitely growing a network, a society of like-minded entrepreneurs, creators, believers, and people that think like-minded. And this place is going to be a sacred place. It's going to be awesome. Maybe not safe, but definitely sacred. So we're going to jump into this. Alison, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for giving me a voice.
Okay, so let's start at the top, or as I'd like to say, the bottom. I'm going to play innocent that I don't know the story, even though I've listened, I've paid attention. I want you to walk our listeners through, from the very beginning, briefly, what is going on with your son, what happened, and let's start from there.
Yeah, so basically my son was 14 years old at the Huron High School in New Boston. He was in math class. The teacher is Ronnie Severin. Him and another student were playing a whiteboard game, just having some laughs, enjoying conversation. I'm not sure why this other student said, don't be like the Oxford school shooter, but my son responded, I'm not going to be like, shut up, or I'm going to shoot the school up. It was a hypothetical statement, but it was definitely not a threat.
Definitely not a threat. Okay, so this goes on. What was the date that this happened?
December 8th of 2021.
Okay, 2021. Interesting. So your son says this. They're boys. They're playing. He definitely said the right thing. What happens next after this statement is said?
So the teacher, she was about 15 feet away. This was also noted in court by the other student that she was far away. It was a very loud classroom, and she had a mask on. Mind you, she probably had a guard that was over her ears. I'm not sure exactly what kind of mask she had on, but she was far away, and she only heard the last part of that conversation. She brought my son into the hallway. She said, what did you say? And my son told her what he said. I'm not going to be like, shut up, or I'm going to shoot the school up. And she told him that context did not matter. She also said this in court, that context did not matter, and that she was going to need to report this to the school staff. She never asked the kids at the table what took place. She just reported it directly to Megan O'Brien. And Megan O'Brien, she already did not like me because we were only in this school for 2 months, and I'd already been complaining about assignments where they were teaching there's more than 2 genders. And, just that day, actually, they were teaching that Christians worship Allah, and that was an assignment that I turned in during the investigation.
Wow. So context doesn't matter. But in this case, it does matter. The context of the story, how this begins.
Context should always matter.
Context always.
If I say that I'm going to kill you, that's a threat. If I say I'm not going to kill you, that's just something stupid that I said.
Well, this is also, right off the rip, if you're watching this is the dumbing down of critical thinking in our society.
Absolutely.
This is what liberalism gets you. Liberalism,
Absolutely.
in the essence of the idea that we are seeking after a liberal, freeing mindset that I can do whatever I want, right? Without consequence. However, the censorship here immediately, right off the rip from the teacher, is that there's an agenda that's exposed immediately. Even if it's not spoken, which makes you feel crazy. Well, this mom has been questioning our assignments. This mom has been questioning our transgender ideology, and this mom
mask mandates as well. It's a 0.5 micron. It was getting through any cute little mask you could have put on your face.
Right. So the most the most liberal ideas that are happening in our culture right now are okay and free only if you don't question them. So right there, we've set the stage for
Yes.
your family, your perception of the point of view.
Yeah.
Why is your perception of that point of view, before we get into Dillon, why is that important?
Why is your perception of the correct point of view?
Yeah. What is the fact that you said that is an important part of the story. However,
Yeah, because it
it's
was
dismissed.
targeting. It was my son is a Christian conservative. If you think about where we were politically, it was very hostile. And our Christian conservatives were the ones that were walking around with targets on their back.
Right. Do you ever feel like you need people to accept you and your son as a Christian, and that you need that type of reinforcement daily? Does your son and you walk around and do you guys say, I'm a Christian and you need to accept me? Do you accept me? Do you guys
No,
do that?
absolutely.
Right. So my point is right there, you guys were standing up for what you believe against a system that constantly needs justification for what they're doing. So therefore, it exposes this idea that if you question a lie, truth will be silenced immediately. And that's exactly what we're seeing.
Yeah.
This is actually real. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
It's in your face, and we have to push back. We have to. So your son says this, the teacher says that. It doesn't matter the context. I'm going to take this. And what does she do with this?
She was 22 years old as well. So
Perfect.
Her brain was not even really fully formed.
Is she a liberal?
Yes, she is.
How would you know that?
She just got out of indoctrination camp.
So she has a master's in lesbian dance theory?
She just got out of a liberal university.
Right. Beautiful. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to consider, right?
Oh,
So
yeah,
she takes
absolutely.
this context doesn't matter garbage, runs with it. Who does she go to with it?
She goes to Megan O'Brien originally. And like I said, Megan O'Brien, she already knew who I was, and she did not like me. I actually had a phone conversation with her regarding a poster in the science class where they were teaching there were more than two genders. She knew exactly what poster I was talking about, exactly what teacher, and she said that she was fine with that and that poster was inclusive. So then she, to my knowledge, her and Andrew Tomczak, another liberal, they get together and they basically have my son in a room with the liaison officer for about an hour and a half while I'm sitting in the lobby. I got to work. It was about 10 o'clock because it's what time I had to be at work. And I got a call, and the lady and the secretary said, you need to come to the school and pick up your son. He's in big trouble. I raced down to the school. I sat in the lobby for an hour and a half. Megan O'Brien came up to me 3 different times. We're not ready for you yet. We're not ready for you yet. Mind you, my heart's pounding. My foot is racing on the ground. And I'm like, where's my kid? I want to see my kid. And she just kept telling me they weren't ready for me yet. Now I understand they were manufacturing a narrative that just was not there. If you were interested in this story and you care about our American rights and the Constitution of the United States of America, click the link below to learn more.